So it basically started, I would say, like 2 weeks or so before the end of the first semester of my junior year, her sophomore year. It was like me, Emma, Kathleen, some other people, and we all went to the Big Red. We were all kind of like jumping around, like doing stuff or whatever. And I was like, you know, she's really fun. She's really pretty. Obviously seems that she like loves the Lord. And so I was like, why not?
He decided that he had a really big crush on me and he wanted to take me to go hike Pinnacle.
And so my method of trying to garner interest was responding to like all of her stories on Instagram and just kind of like having conversation. After a while, I was trying to think of like, what is the easiest way to like potentially talk about like a date idea or whatever.
It took him a while to finally ask me, but after lots of DMs and little flirty texts, he finally asked me to go hike.
I asked her, I was like, hey, like I'm going to Pinnacle on Thursday. Are you down? Not even like a real like, would you go on a date with me? And this is all over Instagram DM, so it's not like my finest work. She was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh, this is happening.
So then we did that and the rest is history. I think I first noticed like his love for the Lord and for his people. Like he loves his family and his friends so big and so well. But first and foremost, he loves the Lord. And so I saw how he like led his life, and that was really admirable.
Whenever we first started dating, she was living in Georgia, Higginbotham Hall, and I was in Tollet, and so I was just having a drive back and forth. And so there was one point when we were just kind of like talking as I was like on my way to drop her off, and it wasn't anything like crazy, but whenever I was backing out of the parking spot, I was like, I'm gonna marry this girl.
We were just like hanging out every day, and it was still before like we went back to school after Christmas break. And so we were on Christmas break still, and we were hanging out every day, and he came over and got to like meet my family, and we were all just like sitting around and talking. Like we talked for like a couple hours, and I think that was whenever I thought like, I think I'm gonna marry him, and he just belongs, he just fits in with us so well. You're so cute.
That's so pretty.
Thank you. I feel like I can't really hug you very well.
It's okay.
Yeah, I got some makeup on there. Not like crazies, but
what?
on a white shirt.
Here is my vow. I will be imperfect. I will not be a trophy husband. I will maintain my sin and flaws, but I promise that will not hold me back from being your husband. I promise that I will remain positive. I promise to be sincere. I promise to be supportive of you. I promise to be honest, real, and lead with a heart that pushes you closer to the cross. And I promise that you will be cared for. I promise that you will be loved. And in the moments where you may question my love, I will return it twofold. And I promise to be your biggest fan and your number one supporter in all things. And above all, I promise that you will be first.
Noah Killian Sanders. I am often at a loss of words when I think about our story and how evident the Lord is the author of it. Today, we are committing ourselves to one another in full surrender as we commit our lives to Jesus. Surrender can be both richly sweet and immensely difficult, but surrender is ultimately beautiful as one gains something far more valuable than the hard things to let go of. Your presence calms any stress that arises, and you have the ability to ground me when it seems impossible to do so on my own. You have held my hand through the hardest days of my life, and I promise to do the same each and every day. I promise to never stop loving you. I choose you today, tomorrow, and every day after. I love you, my forever. Love, your wife. Kathleen.
We've gathered here this evening, the 31st of May, 2024, before God to witness the joining together in holy matrimony of Emma Kathleen Connor and Noah Killian Sanders. God established the covenant of marriage as his first institution. It is neither a human invention nor merely a legal agreement between two people, but was ordained by God as a lifelong covenant relationship and union. Last night, among your family and friends, it was a joy to listen to them share about how much you meant to them and how much they valued your individual friendships, but also looked forward to your joining together today. Your journey leads to today. But this moment is not really about just today. These next few moments are about the next year, the next 5 years, and the next 20 years and more. Because in a few moments, you're not just going to say, I love you today, but you're going to say, I promise to love you tomorrow, so long as we both shall live. We celebrate your love, and we are witnesses as you promise to let the love of Jesus be the basis for your marriage. Noah, do you take Emma Kathleen to be your wife, to live together in accordance with God's plan for marriage? Do you pledge to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, remain faithful to her, so long as you both shall live?
I do.
Emma Kathleen, do you take Noah to be your husband, to live together in accordance with God's plan for marriage? Do you pledge to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, remain faithful to him, so long as you both shall live?
I do.
We rejoice that the two roads that have brought you here will now be one as you leave. Now, by the authority vested in me, in the presence of God and these witnesses, I pronounce you husband and wife, and what God has joined together, let no one separate. You may now kiss your bride. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Noah Sanders.
Starting to see that we're on to something. Feel it coming, we'll keep running. Nothing in our way, and we got no reason to wait. Let the journey take you where it wants to. We'll continue to find our way through anything we face. We got what it takes. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins. Every step, writing stories that seek to be read, taking hold of the moment as we discover every color filled with wonder. Now we finally see we got everything we need. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. This is where the adventure begins. Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds. We're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming now.